All right, guys, welcome to today's live stream. In today's session, we're going to be looking at just across the board around what's going on right now across all the markets. We're going to look at silver and gold, the silver and gold indexes, or the GDX and GDXJ. We're going to be looking at the S&P 500. We're going to be looking at the and also the indices as well too. So we're going to be looking at that. So let's get straight into it right now, and we're going to get. Wait, man, I can't talk this morning. I just came back from the gym. A while ago, anyway. So let's actually come. Hey, Nick, great to see you, my man. Alrighty, so let's get. Let me do this here, and we're going to get straight into give you guys a bit of a market update. What's happening right now? What I see, and we can go from there. Alrighty, guys, so let's do this here. So, guys, do not place a trade. I need to bring this up. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this session today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There's no guarantees of making money in the markets, and trading is a difficult game, especially if you don't have a proven trading setup and if you're trading based on what you think happens for you. So, you know, be smart about the way that you're trading these markets. Let's get straight into today's session in these markets here. Oh, before I do start, guys. Oh, yeah, make sure you head on down to mastertraderlab.com, where you can get a free trial. There it is there. I'm going to give my membership a plug, right? Go down there and get a free trial. I'm going to be doing my live trading, my live sessions soon as well too, guys. So if you haven't got that membership yet, head on down there, and I look forward to seeing you in the live session. And also, I've left the trading course open for another few days as well too. All links are in the description. John's flash sale for the trading course. Let's get straight into this now. Let's have a look here. So, hey guys, glad to see you in the room right now. Alrighty, so let's get straight into what I'm seeing right now in these markets. Okay, so firstly, what I'm seeing is green tea and ginger. First thing of what I'm seeing, let me have a look through here. So I can see there's been a lot of red today, a lot of red today, as you can see on my screen here. To the top up here, this is basically the Russell 1000. Obviously, this is sorted by the biggest down days to obviously the biggest down percentages to the lowest, and then I can sort that from green as well too. But I can look here, look at my indices to see what's happened here as well too. Everything's red here today, and looking at my silver and gold stocks as well, and I can see that everything is pretty red as well too across here. So it was basically a red day across the board for everything in the markets here. Why am I looking at Great British Pound right now? I have no idea. Let's go. Let's go have a look at the Dow Jones here. So firstly, let's have a quick little update on the Dow Jones. Firstly, what are we seeing here right now on the Dow Jones? Pretty much a nothing day. Now I am expecting some sort of a pullback soon, guys. Now, when I say expecting, it may not happen, but I am expecting some sort of a pullback here, but it'll be really interesting to see what's going to happen here. We haven't had any change in momentum once again ever since this up green candle here. Momentum has continued to be up all this time. So trying to short this market throughout this time, even though there was some resistance levels through here, was very, very risky. And that's why, guys, even if you're looking at support and resistance levels, you always want to gauge your decision based on what the market is telling you, and not based on a moving average or volume or support resistance lines. Because as you can see, right, if you go back to my session that I did at last weekend, I talked about momentum being to the upside. So that's basically what's going on right now. So we continue to move to the upside. Momentum is still to the upside. We haven't actually got a momentum change yet in the markets there. So as you can see within my channel here on the Dow Jones, within my channel here, you can see here that we actually have a support, and this market is supporting all the way up through here. So a close below this trend line here, this little channel here, would be obviously a change in momentum. But we still do have a bit of a gap here as well too. But that gap there looks like it's basically a bit of a continuation gap because it wasn't an exhaustion gap. Yeah, it wasn't an exhaustion gap because an exhaustion gap would be rallied and then suddenly it would roll over. So that's what we're seeing there right now on the Dow Jones. Same for the S&P 500. We're seeing the S&P 500. Now we have had it. We had a look at that there. Nice rally up, sideways, and we've had once again, guys. We've had momentum. Momentum has shifted back to the upside on this day here and has been up ever since. And that's why you guys know, right? Like even though I've had support and resistance lines here, and I was expecting to see some sort of reversal out of the markets, the momentum has always been up, and that's why I've been saying for the last few weeks. Trying to short this market right now is very, very risky because momentum has stayed to the upside. There hasn't even been a momentum shift in the market. So that's basically one thing that you want to be looking at there in these markets here. So that's the first thing there. And if I draw a trend line through here, I can see that we definitely did break that level, didn't we? But if I look at this is the S&P right now we're looking at. If I draw a trend line from there to there, right, as you can see, I'm just drawing, you know what, I have a lot of lines on my chart. Let's remove everything off the screen here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a trend line from here. All I'm doing, guys, whenever I draw my trend lines, by the way, is I'm not looking to draw it where I think it is. I'm just trying to get the most touches on that line. That's how you get that's how you draw a good trend line, is that you're looking for the market to respect that level. Not what you think is a good idea, but you're looking for the market to respect that level. And as you can see, that the entire time this market has been bouncing up all the way through here. And if I create a parallel trend line, as you can see, right, then that's basically it through there as well too. So as you can see, we went down sideways and then we bounced up and now we continued back up through to here as well too. So we're at this level through here right now. Momentum is still to the upside, guys. Once again on the S&P, this candle here, momentum shifted to the upside and it has not slow. It has not the momentum hasn't turned down yet. So trying to short this market in the last pretty much month now has been very, very risky. And the same for the Nasdaq as well too. So we can see the same thing for the Nasdaq. Pretty much the same thing when we're looking at, once again, I'm just trying to find good areas of support or resistance in this market here. And I'm just trying to, that's definitely something going on through there, isn't it? Definitely something going on through there. But yeah, but anyway, in any event, momentum has still been strong to the upside. Same for the Nasdaq as well too. This was the candle here. This red candle, momentum, short-term momentum changed to the downside. Very next day, short-term momentum changed back to the upside, and it's been up ever since. So once again, trying to short this market right now, even though there was a lot of support, even though there's a lot of resistance up here at the time, trying to short the market when the market hasn't changed direction yet, then so just waiting for that momentum shift in the markets, guys, is the most important thing to you. Okay, wait for the market to shift first. Now, you should be trading based on a trading setup, not just based on, oh, here's my analysis, because there's an analysis of the market and then there's your trading plan. They're completely different things, by the way. So when I'm doing my analysis, I'm like, okay, this is what the market's telling me right now. Let's have a look at silver and gold. And so gold has had a little bit of a pullback through here. Nothing much, like there's nothing. It's not a big thing in the markets there. We still are in this big sort of nice upward momentum through here. We had this sideways pullback and then a nice big up candle through here. So that's going on through there. That's the GOD. This is the GOD price through here. And then you can see the market support all the way up, and then a pullback through here. So that's what we're looking at there right now. And so there's nothing really going on. There's a bit of a low volume happening right now, but on this chart here, guys, as you can see, and this even for myself, guys, I got to keep making sure that I bring it back to the simple analysis of there's a high, there's a higher low, higher low, higher high, higher low, breaking of the high. Look at that there. Breaking of the high. And as you can see that this breaking of the high this day here as well too look at that. That actually goes inside of that volume there as well too. So volume increase, breaking up the new highs, and look at it run up. So now we created what? We created another higher high, and now we're going to possibly create another higher low. So even for myself, guys, sometimes I have to bring it back to just the basics of, okay, what's this market doing? Now, the bigger picture, when we're looking at the bigger picture of where this market's going overall, that's the weekly charts is like we're still in no man's land. But as you can see, right, if we just identify, okay, what's going on right now? This is the last high, and it came down, created the low, and it came down, created a higher low, higher high, higher low. And look at this here, just beautiful, 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 like we're moving. And sometimes, guys, right, we really have to remove everything from what we think the market, the most successful traders that I know is they have a non-biased view of the markets. They're just trying to read what the charts are telling them. And same, so that's the GLD price. That's the GLD price there. Same for the SLV as well too. So we have a bit of resistance up here. But what's that? What is this price here doing? All right, so we have something going on through here, don't we? So same sort of thing, don't we? So if we have a look at this here, look at this here. So we have this sort of higher low through here. Very, very ugly higher low, by the way. Now we're looking at the SLV price because I like obviously that's the thing that I trade. I don't trade the actual silver and gold itself. I trade the SLV and GLD. Look at this here. Nice higher high, a nice pullback, and then a nice little rally up. This, as you can see, this big gap up here. What was this here? This big gap up here was a breakaway gap. How do we know it was a breakaway gap? Because it was after a pullback. So we had a pullback, and then we had a gap up with this here, and that gap up there looks like it goes inside of that day there. Let me go through here. Yeah, so that day there. So as you can see, right, we had a decrease in volume as this pullback was happening. Big up day, nice gap up as well with increase in volume, and that thing sent it back to the upside. Now we had a higher high. Do we create some sort of higher low through here? I don't know. One thing you'll notice, guys, as well too, is that if you draw a Fibonacci line from here to here, now I know I'm going back in time, guys. I know I'm going back in time, but as you go back in time, right, as you go back in time by looking at these charts, you'll be able to identify, oh, look, this is actually strong momentum. And what is strong momentum? Less than 50%. As you can see, right, this 50% line, if the market retraces less than that and then continues, it's a very, very, very strong momentum. And so, as I said before, guys, like this is looking at the short term, okay? If you're looking at the bigger picture weekly chart, we know there's a whole bunch of areas of resistance up the top here as well too, and all that sort of stuff, right? We know that, and we could be getting ready for some sort of pullback here. But as you can see, right, but looking on the short term, what's really going on here? High, high, low, high, 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 low. Who's in control? The buyers, right? The buyers. Now, if we look at this last low to where we are right now, I'm losing it. Some people are saying in the chat box, John, you never had it. I know. You'll be right. So we go from high to low. But as you can see, right, look at this here, high to low. Now we're actually tracing almost down to the 60%. As you can see, right, this retracement here is a lot deeper in percentage terms than this one back here. So this one back here, as you can see, this back here, because it retraced less than 50% and then continued, that's actually strong momentum in the markets. Now we're retracing almost 60%. Now it's weaker momentum, right? As you can see, the what we call momentum in the markets. Now there's a couple of different ways of what I look at momentum. I look at, there's a few things that I look at when I'm looking at momentum here. Let me do this here. So I'm just bringing up my good old snagger tool. The first thing I'm looking for is obviously, who's in control? Are we getting higher highs, higher lows? Yes, cool. Okay, cool. Now, if the higher highs and higher lows, if we get a nice ride up and a rise and a less than 50% retracement continue, that's strong momentum. Okay, so that's strong momentum. But then also what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the actual bars to tell me as well too when momentum's slowing down, as I've been talking about on the Dow Jones and so on and so forth. So that's basically what's been going on through there, guys, with silver and gold. And as you can see, right, when you just remove everything from the charts or remove everything and just go back to, even if you're not looking at the volume here, go back to a simple chart like this and then just open it up to the last sort of couple of months. This is looking at the short term anyway, and just draw your, it's okay, what's going on market? What's going on here? High, high, low, high, 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 low. Okay, 50%. if we try to do that, and guys, I'm even guilty of this myself. I'm even guilty of this myself by trying to force my opinion or judgment or thought on the markets. The markets is, I don't really care about you, what you think. And that's basically what happens, right? So, by the way, guys, if you want to know, I did a gym workout this morning, and right now I haven't had anything to eat, and I'm drinking right now matcha green tea and lemon and ginger tea at the exact same time. It's more of a detoxing health benefit while I'm not eating anything, and then when I eat something, it just helps balance the alkalinity in my body. Anyway, so let's have a look at the SIL and see what's happening with the SIL right now. So the SIL is once again, it's actually pretty strong, right? You can see through here. And once again, if we look at this actually line through here was one that I was looking at as well too. As you can see, right, we have this low through here. We had this higher high. The market had this pullback. Now let me actually bring up the volume here because I want to see if there's any conjunction with the volume as well too with this here. So the market, as you can see, right, the market pulled back to actually the 52. But if we go from the low to the high, where did it retrace to? It actually retraced down to 50, 60%, didn't it? So it retraced down to that level, as you can see, and then it bounced. But as you can see, we've got this big, nice pullback. But notice this pullback here was quite weak, right? When we're looking at the bars. See all the small bar, small bar, small bar? And look at this up bar here. Look at that big up bar through there. And then, where is that? And then, well, we didn't get a big volume spike, didn't we? It was actually the very next day. It was actually this bar here that gave the volume, and then we continued up to new highs. And now what's happening? Now we're just going sideways, aren't we? Which is still a pretty strong pattern there. So the SIL is starting to really gain a lot of momentum, a lot of strength to the upside by looking at this here. So as you can see, right, and if you look at this, look at the psychology of these bars, guys. And let me remove everything from the screen here. Let's go. I want you to look at this. What I mean by the psychology of these bars is by looking at the actual bars itself, the actual candlesticks itself. If we go from here to here, I'm going to bring up my good old Snagger tool. Look at what I mean by the psychology of the bar, guys. I'm meaning actually looking at this. Notice how, if you look at this section through, notice firstly, what do we have? We had a high and we had a higher high, didn't we? So we know that. Then if you notice when we did pull back and we had these very solid red candles, but then notice how we actually pulled back through here. Notice how small the candles were, right? That's small candles pulling back. And then notice how, yes, we had a high, we had a higher high. So if we created some sort of high low, who's in control? Buyers. And look what happened here. We had all these small bars and then bam, a big breakout bar, very solid up bar, creating from a high, a higher high, a higher low, small bars, weak sellers, strong bar, strong buyers. And then as you can see, that's the thing that catapulted to the upside. So that's basically what's been happening here. Guys, give me a yes in the chat box if you're actually enjoying this breakdown today. I thought I'd go a bit more deeper in the tech analysis instead of the bigger picture like I normally do and the support resistance. I'm breaking it right down to some things that I keep an eye on as well too on the short-term picture of how to gauge momentum and all that sort of stuff as well too. So that's basically what's happening through there. And Bernard. Bernard wrote his first name in the chat box. Bernard. And the same thing for the GDX, right? If we take everything off the screen, look what's happening through here. What do we have through here? Actually, you know what? Let me actually go back to this chart here because I want to see the volume. I want to see if the volume increased on that day. It did. Bring it back to a couple of months, maybe 3-4 months worth of data. And what do we have here? We have a low. We have a higher high. Notice this pullback here. Look at all these small little bars through here. See all these small little bars? Small little candles? And then look at that up candle. This up candle through here had what? Also had a gap, which means what? After a pullback, and then you had these small bars, and then you had the gap up with the green. And then if you had the gap up with the green, and also if you look at the volume as well too, this volume here was this volume increase through here. Right? So what does that mean? This is now a breakaway gap And breakaway gap is generally at the start of a move, right? And as you can see, then that's the thing. That's the thing that's tended to the upside. Now let's go back to the Fibonacci levels from the low to the high. Look at that there. See how it retraced this level through here was the 50% retracement. Notice how it retraced less than and then continued. That's actually strong momentum on the short term anyway. Short term, guys, okay? Looking maybe for the next, say for a couple of days to a week on the markets, okay? Now that long term actually could be different as well too. So the GDXJ, same thing as well too from the GDXJ, right? Really, really, really. Now the GDXJ was really, really awesome. Let me have a look. Let me show you what I mean here. So if I delete even off the screen here, firstly we had a low, then we had a higher low, then we came down, came down, came down. Look at this here. Came down, came down, came down. Up bar. When did the up bar happen? It happened where? Less than what? 50%. So this was the 50% level. So it was less than 50%. And then we had an up bar through here. This up bar through here was also goes inside with big volume spike as well. And that's the thing that sent the market to the upside. So now we're just having another pullback. All right. So now we're just having another pullback. So guys, that's what's going on right now. This is what's going on right now as I speak. The Dow Jones and the S&P, even though that for the last few weeks I've been saying we're at, you know, are we going to get a reversal and all that sort of stuff that I've been doing because we've been at these resistance levels. But the short-term momentum, as you guys, if you've been watching me for a while, you guys know that the short-term momentum has always continued on the upside. And looking at silver and gold and all those indexes right now as well too, you know what I'm looking at right now. And I hope you can see, guys, that when you remove everything from the charts and you just go back to what the market is telling you right now, you can make such a really, 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 really awesome, friggin' good decision based on the markets. And that's why you always want to trade with the trend, trade with the markets, right? Never fight the markets. So people that have been trying to short silver and gold lately has been a wrong idea. Now, and people that have been trying to short the stock market while the momentum's been up has not been a good idea. And it's so, and the one thing, guys, that's gonna determine how well you look at these charts is where are you right now in your life? Is there a lot of stuff that's going on in your life? Because guys, I'm not talking at you, I'm talking with you here. If there's a lot of stuff that's going on in your life right now and it's creating so much emotional tension in your brain, you're not going to be able to look at the charts properly. You're not going to be able to look at the charts with clear eyes and say, you know what, this is what's really going on right now. And so that's why, guys, it's so important to be able to, when you look at the charts, make sure you're trying to get good night's sleeps. Make sure that all this stuff, guys, the stuff that I need to keep working on myself, make sure that when I'm looking at the charts, I'm not trying to have any bias. I'm not trying to have any preconceived idea. If the stock market crashes, that means silver and gold is going to go up and blah, 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 all this sort of stuff. My job as a technician, call it, is just to continue reading these markets. And the market does give you some clues on where the market is likely to go from stuff that I've taught, from stuff that I've walked you through today. And it's so important that if we just go back to the basics, and as you can see, right, I didn't even mention the moving average once. What did literally 99% of everything I talked about today, or 100% of everything I talked about today, was what? Based on the chart and volume. Because you can gauge so much. You can gauge so much information from the actual chart itself that it can really, 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 really help you out. It can really help you out with that. All right. So if anyone says that you can't trade the chart and the charts mean nothing and stuff like that, that means they have no idea how to actually read the market or even gauge what's going on in the markets right now. Now, sometimes, guys, and this is why it's so important that when we're looking at the markets, we look at the markets with an unbiased view, an unbiased opinion, unbiased what's going on. And no matter what we think, hope, or fear, we need to look at the market from fresh eyes, from what's really going on, and then we can start to say, like, oh my goodness, I can see it now. Because sometimes, guys, we get so stuck, right? We get so stuck in the ways of how we think or what we think is going to happen in the markets that we look for anything on the chart to support our view. Yet the market's saying this, the market's saying this, the market's saying this, the market's saying this. Now, I have been saying that the bigger picture on silver and gold has always been, you know, are we going to get some sort of reversal here? The big picture here on the weekly chart. I've been saying that for the last few weeks. But on the short-term picture, you can't deny that the market's been going up. Same for the Dow Jones. I've been saying for the last few weeks to the month now, don't try and short this market because momentum hasn't changed yet. We've got a few slowing periods, but momentum hasn't changed yet. So trying to short the market is wrong. Yes, the market has been at a lot of resistance levels there, but as you can see, right, unless the chart tells you things are changing, then don't try and think you're smarter than the markets there, because you're not, right? So guys, I walked through so much information on this session today to really help you out and to help you gauge. Again, people say that they if you know, people that read charts are just like, guys, how much information did I just give you guys just then about from the chart itself to help you understand what's going on right now? It's just so important. And the better you can read the chart, the better trader you'll be. And what I mean by that is, as you can see, right, everything came from 99% of what I just said there, or 95% came from the chart itself. And then as you can see, when you get these gaps after pullbacks and breaking up the new highs, like we can see on the GLD, and we get volume increases, what are those telling you? It's likely to continue because we have an upward trend already. We've got a nice sideways period through here, and then we're getting a nice breakup bar. But sometimes, even myself, guys, I'd go through these periods where I have this view of what's likely to happen, and I don't do that as often now. But that's so important, so critical on how to read the markets. And I tell you what, guys, where I really started to learn this. Now I've been, excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. I've been taught by two of my major mentors. Have been 7-figure traders, and my current mentor right now is a multiple 7-figure trader. And I learned so much from him about the markets that it's so critical. But where I started really learning this was when the election was happening. Now let me go back to what I'm talking about here. If I go back to that weekly chart here, let me bring up actually this chart here. Let's go back to the weekly chart. Now I want to go back to the election time. All right. Now, if I go back to the election time, all right, exactly. Trade with the current like water. Exactly. Just flow like water. Don't try and force things. I really, this really stung me, guys. And I'm going to be honest with you, this really stung me. And I lost quite a bit of money, in about a year, from listening to the mainstream, listening to 7-figure trader simply means he makes 7 figures, Nick. So if I say I have a multiple 7-figure mentor, that means he makes more than multiple 7 figures per year. More than $2 million a year on average he would make. Probably this year he's probably gonna. Last year he just crushed it. Absolutely just crushed it. Last month he just crushed it. So anyway, look at this here, guys. Right, look at this here. Without anything got to do with the news or anything that's going on in the markets right now. All right, or anything that's going on. If we go back in time and we keep it down to this simple analysis, which most people can't. Most people think, well, it's the news that causes this to happen. Blah blah blah. But if we go back to the chart, what was the chart telling us at the election time? Now, this is the weekly chart, by the way. Look at this here. We had a what? We had a high. Then we came down and we created what? We created a low. Oh. Then we created a what? We created pretty much an equal high. Then we created a double bottom. Then we created a slight higher high. Then we created a higher low. So who's in control here right now? The buyers. Right? The buyers. Market runs up, creates a higher high. Look at this small pullback. Remember I was saying before about looking at all the bars when the pullback, you get all this small little weekly. Again, this is the weekly chart. And look at this here. Small little pullback with all these small little bars, higher low. And then we get this big up bar right here. Big green up bar breaking above previous resistance. So if you did nothing, you listened to nothing, no mainstream, no media, nothing out there. And all you said, okay, what is the market telling me right now? Oh, look, buyers are in control. We've got a pullback here with small bars. That means there's weak sellers. Oh, big, strong green bar breaking above previous highs. Oh, that's actually strong buyers. And then the market took off. But what did my dumb ass do at that time? I started listening to Bo Polly. So for 4 or 5 years leading up to this time, I was crushing it, just trading my system, trading, forgetting what anything else is. And then we started going through 2015. I'm like, maybe I'm missing something here. Now, I'm still trading well with my trading system, but then I started looking like I need to know what's happening fundamentally. And I went way off the records. And I heard everyone, the market's going to crash today. There's, and everyone that I saw was saying crash at that time. Everyone. Bo Polly, Peter Schiff, Harry Dent, like everyone was saying, and even like some other reports that I subscribed to, everyone was saying this market's going to crash, the market's going to top and blah, 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 all this sort of stuff. But if I go back and I remove all that garbage, which is just their opinions, and I go back to what? This thing here called the truth and nothing but the truth about what's going on right now in the market, and we trade what we see, not what we think, hope, or fear, you'll be able to see. You'll be able to see that, oh, look, the buyers were in control. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And then the market, and then we had this big green up bar. And once again, guys, look at the psychology of this market here. Look at this here. Look at this here. Weak pullback, nice move up. Look at all this. Look at this pullback here with all those small little candles. What does that mean about the psychology? The psychology is what? Very weak buyers. Oh, look, big green candle after the small candles. High, low, high, low. What does that mean? Oh, buyers in control because the buyers are raising their prices. Small pullback with small bars. Oh, look at that big green candle. Big, strong green candle. What does that mean? Strong buyers. And then the way we went for a while. Oh, but John, you don't understand. The market's going to crash and this is the false breakout and yada, 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 yada. And guys, for you guys that are watching the replay as well too, leave a comment in the chat box below and let me know if you actually got sucked into the whole thing out there that happened there, because I did the same thing as well too. I went away from how I traded the markets, which trading really, really well, to then for 1 year thinking that this market is going to crash and all that sort of stuff, and I went completely off because I heard listening to everyone else apart from the main thing that is the most important thing to this market, and that's the charts itself. The charts is the truth. And the better you can read this thing, ding, ding, the better you can read the chart. So, guys, I tell you what, guys, I lost multiple six figures at that time. I was long the VIX. I was short the I was buying call options on the VIX. I was short the SPY, buying way out of the money options, 3-month time frame. It was a disaster. Now, it wasn't my entire wealth back then, guys, but I did lose a good chunk of my wealth at that time. Good chunk of my wealth that actually built up over the last 5 or 6 years of trading really well. And then I went back, and now I've just gone back to doing what I know that works, which is just listen to the market and forget everything else. Because the less I know about, the less I watch about these other fundamentals out there, and the more I can just focus on the stuff that I've been teaching you in this session here, the better you're going to be as a trader. I promise you guys, I promise you. Because the only thing you can do as a trader is you can trade what you see, and the market does start to give you clues on where it's likely to go. How are the bars? Are they small or are they strong? Oh, we're getting small bars. Okay, what's happening in the market right now? Oh, it's actually creating higher lows. Okay, cool. Oh, we get a big green up bar. What does a big green up bar mean? Oh, it means what? It means strong buyers. Oh, okay. Well, we just had a small pullback with all these small bars, weak buyers, and now weak sellers, strong buyers. Oh, I guess that this big green up bar means, and we're breaking past previous highs, and we've got an increase in volume. Oh, looks like that we may be continuing to go for a nice run. I tell you what, guys, and that's why, like, for you guys that are part of the Master Trader Lab and stuff like that, the things that I teach you in there, it's like this is the stuff that really, 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 really does matter to you. And there is nothing else out there on the planet that's going to give you a greater insight to what's happening right now in the markets than the charts. Now, yes, there's sometimes the charts will never tell you when the bottom's in. The charts will never tell you when the top's in. Sometimes it can by false breakouts and all that sort of stuff in the markets. But guess what? Guess what? That's basically by trading a fundamental. By trading a fundamental, you're just basically trading based on hope. And I'm telling you right now, guys, Like for anyone that's been trying to trade, and you guys know this, right? If you look at fundamentals, this is the reason why we can't trade fundamentals. Anyone, and you know yourself, right? For the last couple of years, Tesla has been the most shorted company out there on the planet, but it just won't go down. I want to buy call options because of the most shorted company out there on the planet. So anyway, guys, so that's basically what I wanted to share with you today. I hope you really got a lot out of this today. Leave a question in the chat box below, guys, and or leave a question if you're watching this on replay. Let me know what you think about today's session. Where do you think the stock market's going to go? Do you think the stock market's going to continue higher? Do you think it's going to go down? What about silver and gold? Do you think this is going to continue moving up from here as well too? Because we have got a pretty nice strong upward trend right now. And as you can see, right, like look at so much information from the charts. If you have any questions, guys, in the chat box right now on the live stream, or even if you are watching the replay, then put them in there, and I'll gladly to answer them. And once again, guys, go to johnsflashsale.com, JOHNS flashsale.com to get your trading course. I've left it up there for another few days. I've got a few emails saying that they couldn't get it because I shut it down. So I'll lift that up for another few days, and also grab a free trial to the Master Trader Lab. And if you do want to get my personal, if you want to get me as your personal coach every single week, then just email me at Howell, HOWELL trader @gmail.com, and I'll talk to you on the phone and see whether my private weekly coaching, which is only a small group, I've only got 10 people in there right now. See whether you're a good fit for my private weekly coaching program. That goes for the entire year. All right. So let's go through some questions here, guys. All righty. So guys, I went through so much information in today's session. I really did. And I hope you can see just how powerful this is. All righty. Are we rolling over? Not yet. Not yet. Are we rolling over? Not yet. Not until momentum starts to shift. So wait for momentum to start to shift, as you can see there. How big of a stack do we need to bump this thing over? Justin, the market can keep doing. The market can what's that saying? The market can keep going. The market can stay more rational than, or whatever. The market can just keep going. The market can do whatever it wants to do. That's why we just need to, if you're trying to short this market right now, you're trying to pick a top. At least wait for momentum to change. Momentum to change for me would be a close below this level through here right now. So on the Dow Jones, if we get a close below the 24,800, then that's going to be a momentum shift on the downside. Best to draw trend lines is you need to shift on the line chart and then draw a line. Yeah, actually, Jonas, that's actually very good idea. I do that sometimes well too. That's why I have a chart that looks like this here. And I walked through this a while ago, but I have actually two line charts here. And you are right, because the closing price is the most important price of the bar. So yeah, so you are right there that drawing on the line charts is most important, or you can do it on other charts as well. Let me just bring this up here. Alrighty, guys. Bernard, freaking love it. Hey, Nick, my man, just saw that. All cash by the end of trading day unless the market shows her hand. Her hand. Oh, it's a her. I call it a. Actually, you know what? The market is like a her, isn't it? It really is. It's like a woman. It's like 1 minute it says it's going to do this. You're like, okay, cool. And then suddenly completely changes the mind. Oh, I really like this, my darling. I really like this. Next day, no, I'm not having. I don't like it. So yes, you're right. I trade with the current. Be like water, Bruce Lee, in my opinion. Exactly right. Exactly right. And the more you can just do that, and even myself, guys, sometimes I go through. That's the mistake that I make sometimes. I'm trying to force my view onto the markets. We need to remove that. And it's like, okay, market, you tell me. I don't want to tell you. You tell me. So momentum changes downward when there are at least two lower closes candles in a row. No, Bernard, no. To gauge momentum change on the S&P, what time frame are those candles on? Bernard, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Whatever market, whatever time frame you're looking at that based on that time frame. So you're doing analysis. So if I go to the S&P 500 and I'm looking at the daily chart, well, I'm doing my analysis on the daily chart. I'm gauging momentum. No, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a candle to close lower than at least the previous two candles, at least. Now, for me on the S&P 500, I would to gauge momentum, I would want to start to see a close below, probably somewhere through here. I would like to see a close below to be more sure. If it gets a close below 2,680, then that could start to see a bit of short-term momentum changing on this here. Yeah, that'll be the level for me there. That goes back a couple of bars there, yeah. So, but the thing is that you're looking at that there, but you've got to make it relative to whatever time frame you're looking at. So you do your analysis based on time. So if I go to say a 15-minute chart in the S&P, well, now I need to do my analysis based on what? Based on this 15-minute chart. I need to look at the highs and lows and gauge momentum and all that sort of stuff. It's completely different now, right? Because now we're going to a smaller time frame. You always do your analysis based on the time frame there. So that's basically what you want to look at there. So if you're looking for more of a short-term shift in the market, maybe for up to maybe for a week or so, then you look at the daily chart. If you look at the 15-minute chart, that may shift momentum today, and then this afternoon or tomorrow it completely changes because it changes so much. There's so many bars there. B1 with current in the market, filter out the noise. You're exactly right. Epic. Fantastic, Nick. Anything is possible. No predictions. Markets dictate her direction, but you can get a high probability. It's especially from the stuff that I talked about today. What do you think of JASN? Christy, my thoughts is that it's got a bit of a flattening period through here. We're actually running up through here right now. We have a ton of area of resistance where it's actually, you can see it actually rejected that resistance level there on that weekly chart. So there's a major areas of resistance all through that point there. So, yeah, really, there's nothing too clear on this chart. There's no clear trend. There's nothing. So there is I have no opinion on this. Massive rising wage. I expected to break down very badly by the end of the week. Michael, my man, wait for the market to tell you. Don't expect anything. So, okay, Michael, what are you doing today? Oh, look, this is what the market's doing. Cool. John, I find it difficult when you are trading live and you can't see future bars. Really? Look at the past charts. It's easy to see when you should have what you should have done. But James, here's the thing. Yes, I understand that, but when you go back over the charts, you can see the reason why things move forward, right? And when you start to see things time and time again, like for example, if I bring up, say, the GLD price, okay? Like for example, if I bring up the GLD price and I bring up this daily chart, yes, you can go back, but I guarantee you, if you start to say, okay, cool, now I'm looking at this chart here, okay? So now I'm looking at this chart here and I'm looking back in time. But if you look at this, okay, what was one of the most powerful patterns here on this chart? Okay, firstly, we had an upward trend, higher highs, higher lows. Secondly, we had a period where the market did rally up, went sideways and retraced less than 50%. Okay, so that's actually the second thing. And thirdly, we actually had a nice green up bar breaking above previous resistance with volume. Okay. So I guarantee you that if you see this exact same formation next time and all you see is just, let's do this here, just this here. That's all you see. Oh, easy, Tiger. I'm going to bring a snap on. Delete. And if all you, let's do this here. Oh, yeah. Why is that? Oh, anyway. So if all you saw was that, Next time that you see this, you're like, oh, I've seen this before. I've seen this set up before. I see this set up, and now you're looking at it right now as of the bar. So James, does that make sense, my man? So yes, you may be able to go back in time and see the future bars, but what you want to do is you want to go back to the time of, say, this breakout bar. You might say, okay, what does that mean? And when you start to see this pattern again and again and again and again and again, like 1,000 times, you're like, oh, this has a very high probability of now continuing up. Why? We now have a definite trend in place. We now can see the market actually went sideways with all these small little bars, less than 50%. And now we're getting an up candle breaking past previous high with an increase in volume. Oh, okay. So that's, and James, at the end of the day, that could be a trading setup I just taught you just there. If you like I'm telling you right now, guys, if you just waited for setups just like that. Now, by the way, guys, I wouldn't say just do that because there's something else here. But if you waited for something like this, you start to have massive probability on your side of it generating a profit. Now, how high it goes, we don't ever know that. We don't ever know it's going to go, run on for a week, or if it's just going to run on for a few days. We don't know that. Okay. But I'm telling you right now, guys, that's how successful trading is done. That's what I mean by looking for a trading setup. And I promise you guys, if this trading setup, if that's all you looked for was this trading setup, you wouldn't have many of these setups throughout the entire year, but you'll be successful. Now, how you manage those trades is a different thing. If you're trying to make a lot of money on every single trade, then now it's like it's now you're turning a winning strategy into a losing strategy. But if you're happy getting in and holding on for a few candles and then getting out for a profit, regardless of what it does, and then keep doing that again and again and again, you're going to have a very, very successful trading career. That's how successful trading is done. So when I look for my trading setup on the charts, which is actually very similar to what I taught there, but there's a lot more that goes into it. When I'm looking, by the way, that's not my A+ setup, by the way, guys. But when I'm looking for my A+ setup, that's what, James, can you see now, my man, how you develop a trading strategy? And as we do analysis on the charts, but then suddenly you look at this, like, hey, this is my trading setup I'm looking for. We can look at the analysis and look at the charts and do analysis on short-term momentum, all that sort of stuff, Dow Jones, S&P. But as you're looking at these stocks, now you're like, hey, this is the thing I'm looking for. The biggest thing, now this trading system's the easy part. The biggest thing for you, James, and everyone else that's watching, I just gave you a very successful trading system. The problem, the thing that's going to stop you from not doing well is your consistency, your discipline, and your patience, especially your patience. Because you may not have a trade for a week. You may not have a trade for a month. You may not have a trade for a few months. And then your second thing after that is your trade management. You've been too greedy. Well, I'm trying to hold on for a big profit. And then that's how you, in fact, you know what, guys? In fact, there was actually a trade. Oh, let me see if I can. There was a trade that I took. Actually, let me show you this here. There was a. I'm trying to scan my computer right now, and I'm trying to look for an old trade that I did that looked almost identical to this one here. Almost identical to this one here. So I'm trying to scan my computer right now, and I'll try to show you this here. I'm trying to see if this is going to bring it up here. Is it going to bring it up? Oh, here we go. All right. Is this it here? Yeah. All right. Cool. Cool. So here we go. Look at this here, guys. Look at this here. Now, look at this here, guys. We have a clear upward trend. We have all these small bars, and then we have this big green breakaway bar. This is and what I mean by the big breakaway bar. This is actually back in 2017, by the way, guys. All right. And you can see here, right? Nice trend, small bars, nice big green breakaway bar. With what? This was the volume spike on that day there as well. Now, guys, for you guys in the chat box, guys, can you guys give me a yes in the chat box if you can see how this trade that I took here, which was this breakout bar here, looks almost identical to what actually happened with gold just recently. Can you guys see that? Can you see the similarities, which means we had a nice strong upward trend, a sideways small bars for a while, and then a nice breakout bar with volume behind it. Can you guys see that? And that's what trading is all about. It's never, and like, you know, it's never about luck, right? This was a trade here. Higher highs, higher lows, MAs, no one in control for a few weeks, which is this one here. Now, by the way, there's a lot more to this system than I just put on this chart here, but I hope you can see, right? I'm trying to share with you that like I remember this trade here very nicely. Let me see if I can find another setup that looked almost identical to that as well. Let's go. Let me see. Oh, geez. All right, so let me go. Another setup, guys, that did the exact same thing. Where are you? All right, stop. Oh, crap. All right, so let's. All right, so just give me 1 minute, guys. I'm going to share with you another setup that looked like that. Yeah, right. And that's all successful trading is waiting for a setup. So I'm now gonna, where are we here? All right, so here's another setup, guys, that I'm gonna share with you. Like these are trades that I've taken in the past, guys. Let me see if is that gonna open on me? Oh, there we go there. Cool. All right. Look at this here, guys. Look at this here. This was a trade that I took as well too. Now, look. Right. So what do we have here? This was, I didn't take this second trade here, and there's a few reasons why. But I did take this first trade here. Look at this here. Nice high, low, small bars, nice breakout bar with an increase in volume. Guys, give me a yes in the chat box. If this here looked like this, if this setup here, this setup looks almost identical to the setup that I just showed you just then, and also the gold chart just recently. Like, it's not that they're lucky, guys. The charts really do give you a good clue of what's happening. You just got to wait for these really good setups, and then bam. I stayed in this for about a week. Oh, no, about 4 days or so. About 4 days. So, like, I'm going back here to May 2017, guys. Like, because I remember these setups, these trades that I've taken in the past. It's like, yeah. Now, I hope you can see now, guys, that trading's not about being lucky. Trading's not about being lucky. Now, I do trade options on these as well, too. So if you're trading out of the money in the options, you can generate 100, 200% return depending on the volatility of the move. You know, quite nicely. But it's about the trading setup, guys. It's about the trading setup. That's all. But the only way for you to develop confidence, and James, what you're saying before, I hope you can see now, James, as well, too, that why I'm so confident in what I just shared with you with gold. As you can see, right, I'm bringing you back to trades that I took in the middle of 2017. Like, we're now in 2019. Can you see the reason why, James, that I'm so confident in by what I see on the charts? Because I can bring up trades that I've done over the last couple of years at least, or with very similar setups and what they're likely to do afterwards. And the more time you see it, the more you believe in it. Like, I can see what this is likely to do. Bam, 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 bam. Trading can be simple. Trading can be easy. Trading can be fun. It really can. Your job is just to be consistent, disciplined, and patient and wait for the setup. And that's why having me as your coach, if you want me as your coach every single week, is to kick you in the ass. Say, listen, stick to the plan. You'll do well. Stop taking crap trades. And that's your problem there. And then your second problem is being too greedy, trying to go for the home run on every single trade. I have always, always, always done so much better in the markets by getting in and taking a nice profit and getting out, not being too greedy, than trying to go for the big home run on every single trade. So now, guys, what I'm trying to tell you here is, guys, don't go start to trade this. The thing I just taught you here, guys, was a basic version of my A+ setup that I use. My A+ setup is like this thing on steroids, basically. It really is. But I'm trying to share with you guys that don't go start to trade this system here straight away. You need to spend at least a few months or more. Go back and back test, because you need to start to develop the confidence. You need to start to develop the confidence within yourself. Why was I so confident in drawing this thing on GLD and saying where this is likely to go on the short term? Again, I just brought charts up that look very, very, very similar to this setup here. And if that's all you did, then that's what trading is all about, guys. You can do trading. You can do so well with trading. You really, really, really can, guys. Just get out of your own way and stop thinking that this market's manipulated and you can't trade it and the machines are taking over and all this sort of crap and garbage out there and all this sort of stuff. You can do well from just looking at the chart. I promise you, guys. I promise you. I promise you. Actually, I'm telling you right now, guys, if you took 20 trades of this exact same setup, now there's a few things in here as well too. Like, for example, we need to make sure that the sideways is long enough. So there's a bit more into it as well too. But I guarantee if you took 20 trades that looked exactly like this, I guarantee you at least 80% of them would be successful. 20% won't. You'll get a stop out. And then the 80%, if you weren't too greedy, that's a successful strategy in itself, guys. But as long as you're consistent every single day, you're disciplined and you're patient. If you have no trades for 2 months in a row, then you have no trades for 2 months in a row. So I have no idea why I started talking about a trading system today, but there you go, guys. I gave you a basic version of my A+ setup. Something you can start to run with today and start to help yourself. So anyway, guys, well, I am done for the day, guys. Make sure you head on down to the trading course flash sale, johnsflashsale.com. And also the free trial to the mastertraderlab.com. And if you do want to access my weekly coaching to get access, then just send me an email to Hal, H-O-W-E-L-L, trader, T-R-A-D-E-R, haltrader@gmail.com. You want to get access to my weekly coaching, to have me as your weekly coach, so I can help you every single week like this, then go do that. I'll schedule a call with you and I'll see if we're a good fit. All right, guys, that's it for me today. Have an amazing day and I'll speak to you next time.